Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group KME4. We will present to you guys about Shariah perspective relating to investment decision for two companies, which is Aziz Real Estate Investment Trust and MFB Berhad. My name is Saidatul Husna binti Mohammed. My matric number is 1190841. So for the introduction, Muslim investor has been observed to be interested in investing in companies that include ethical, social, and environmental practices into their company operations. This is due to socially ethical companies' superior performance and lower risk, which may entice mutual fund managers to consider this company for investment selections. When investors become more aware of the requirement of Islamic law in conducting business, they will prefer to invest in a company that adhere to Islamic norm and regulation. The majority of Sharia compliant fund investors and managers are Muslim. Muslims are compelled by Islamic law to conduct business and make investment decisions in accordance with Al-Quran and Al-Sunnah. Okay, we move to the company background. The first company is Aziz Real Estate Investment Trust. Aziz is Malaysia's first real estate investment trust, having debuted on the Bursa Security Exchange on 3 August 2005. The deed was registered with the SC on June 16, 2005, establishing Aziz in Malaysia. Aziz was reclassified as an Islamic REIT, successfully benchmarked against the world's most successful REIT in terms of total returns to unit holders, and be the REIT of choice for Sharia and non-Sharia investors. Basically, what they are actually doing is leasing, acquisitions, and build-to-suit. For the part of leasing, Aziz provides a wide selection of warehouse and office space in strategic location to meet the demands of all businesses. Aziz REIT continued to pursue an aggressive acquisition strategy, focusing on well-located industrial properties with good tenant profile and convenience. Aziz also has recently begun to engage on build-to-suit development projects, which will help the fund grow. Okay, for the next company is MFB Berhad. MFB Berhad is a preferred partner for some of the world's most recognizable brands in the industrial and motor sectors. In 1977, MFB Holding was acquired by Malaysian investor, mainly through Trade One's Malaysia Sdn Berhad. They are continually watching market development and assessing strategic options that could potentially increase shareholder value. The investor relation unit that the group communication department provide the investment and media community with an up-to-date view of the group's financial performance and operation via analyst briefing and press conferences. These seasons coincide with the release of the group's quarterly financial result of Bursa Malaysia Securities.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vanessa Sani binti Kipli. My matrix number is 1190883. Today, I will continue on data which is the price behavior for two companies, which is MFB Berhad and Aziz REIT. So firstly, we discuss on the behavior of the price for MFB Berhad. The duration of observing takes of 12 months from January 2021 until December 2021. From the table shows, we can see the fluctuating share price that have been affected by the investor demand and economic problem. In March and August, the share price is the highest among other months, with each RM2.359 and RM2.360. These 2 months have been set a high amount rather than the other month of share price, such as RM2.180, RM2.150 and RM2.190. This means that the number of investors who want to buy stocks are more than the investors who want to sell or can be simplified as more demand than supply. This instrument had been getting a high demand among the investors that made the rise of share price in March and August, because the share price in March is RM 2.359 and August is RM 2.360, is more than the open price of March, which is RM 2.222, and the price in August is RM 2.150. Next, we look on the month of January, April, June, July, September and November, which are the changes of the price get negative sign. For example, in January, the share price is RM 2.163 while the open price is RM 2.290. The changes between the price is negative 4.76%. In addition, the opening price of a securities is not the same as the previous day's closing price. The discrepancy is due to changes in investor valuation or expectations for the securities as a result of after-hours trading. So it will going up and down every day based on the investor evaluation and expectation. For the month of February, March, May, August, October and December, the open price are higher than the actual share price. The changes of the price shows a positive sign. Secondly, we move to the behavior of the price for Axis Real Estate Investment Trust. As you look into the table, the duration also take 12 months, which is from January 2021 to December 2021. For the first month, which is January 2021, we can see that the opening price is RM 2.03 and the closing price for the month is RM 1.97. The change between the opening price and closing price is RM 0.060, which indicates that during the month, the stock has given a change of negative 2.96%. Moreover, for the second month, which is February 2021, we found that the opening price is RM 1.97 and the closing price is RM 1.83. From the data, we can see that the closing price show decreased trend of RM 0.14 from its opening price, which show that during the month, the stock has changed of negative 7.11%. In addition, based on our observation, the opening price is RM 1.83 and the closing price is RM 1.95 for the third month, which is March 2021. The change between the opening price and the closing price for the month is RM 0.12, which brings to the changes 6.56%. For the other months such as April, June, July, August, October and November, the open price are lower than the closing stock. It leads the changes between prices get positive sign. Next, for the month May, September and December, the opening price is higher than the closing price, which lead the negative sign in changes between the price.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad Shim bin Halim. My metric number is 1190816. So now I will continue to present the next part, which is performance analysis for Saudara Berhad and Axis Real Estate Investment. The two types of analysis that I will use to evaluate the performance of these two companies are fundamental analysis and technical analysis. So now I will start with the fundamental analysis for these two companies first. The first company is Saudara Berhad. Regarding the company financial ratio, the company current net profit margin is 2.21%, which is lower than the previous fiscal year, which is 11.2%. Next, Saudara Berhad has a 6.02% return on equity, which equal net income divided by equity, compared to 9.38% for the fiscal year that end in June 2021. It seems to have less good profit than before, as this show that the company is failing to use its investor funds. After that, return on asset, which is ROA, means net income divided by total asset. It has increased to 5.5% from 5.19% last fiscal year. It demonstrates that the company effectively utilize its resources to generate profit and leverage that funds gained through stock sales. However, Saudara B current ratio is 1.63, which is usually means that the company has a good short-term financial strength and that is well managing its working capital. Next, Sunderby has a good value based on its P ratio of 11.1% compared to the Malaysian industry average of 11.7%. Finally, the dividend yield stands at 4.31%. This suggests that dividend yield of Sunderby Berhad will be considered good because yield between 2% and 6% is deemed ideal. Next, fundamental analysis for Axis Real Estate Investment Trust. The company owns and invests primarily in office and industrial real estate. According to its financial ratio, its current net profit was 16.33%, decreasing the previous years, which is 61.17%. Next, the return on asset and return on equity respectively are 4.19% and 6.96%. Both ROA and ROE have improved in percentage, indicating that the company efficiently utilized resources and leveraged cash obtained from stock sales to increase profit. After that, Axis current ratio is 0.12%, which is not ideal because it falls below 1.5%, which indicates that the company may have difficulty meeting its current obligation. Moreover, the price to earning ratio, which is PE for Axis rate, is 20.5%, which is considered a standard valuation. The price to earning ratio help investor measure how many times earnings the investor are willing to pay for every RM1 and now how profitable a company is currently and in the future. So, Axis rate had a 25 ratio, which indicates investors are willing to pay RM20 5% for every ringgit of earning and implies that investors are willing to pay high for Axis rate. It also showed that Axis rate had more excellent stock value and was more profitable in the future. Lastly, the dividend yield for Axis rate is 4.85%. The dividend yield is critical since it indicates the percentage of income shareholder got compared to the cost of their share. Axis rate has a dividend yield of 4.42%, which means that an investor would earn 4.42% on the share of Axis rate in the form of dividends. This suggests that a dividend yield of Axis rate will be considered good because a yield between 2% and 6% is deemed ideal. Next, I will continue to technical analysis of Sunderby Berhad. We frequently use many indicators given by our lecturer and investor on YouTube to evaluate the chart of technical analysis. This chart represents the share price for Sunderby Berhad in the form of candlestick for 2021 from January to December. We have used several indicators and strategies, namely support and resistance, chart pattern, and moving average. Firstly, in determining this company's highest and lowest stock price level, we have used support and resistance zone. Support is the floor price in a stock counter. The support zone in the chart above is RM 2.80 until RM2.13. Buying at the support level is the best timing because this price is still low. To set the take profit, we use resistance, the selling price or the higher price, which means that when the price reach the level, the price will bounce back down. In the chart above, the resistance or sell zone for Sunderby Berhad is RM 2.47 and RM 2.5. Investor can sell their share when the price has reached the resistance area to save profit. Next, one of the indicators we use in technical analysis is the chart pattern. A chart pattern is a pattern that is formed in a chart when it is drawn. It is used for traders to know where price will go. In the chart above, we can see that the price has made a double bottom pattern, and it means that the price will go up and give a buy signal to investor to buy the stock at that time. After that, on the chart above, there is also another chart pattern, that is the triple top pattern, and it means the price will go down and give a signal to investor to sell their stock so as not to suffer losses. Last but not least, the indicator we use is the moving average. In the chart above, the moving average indicator help the trader see the price trend. How to use it is any price above the MA line, it means the price is in uptrend and trader should focus on buy only. If the price is below the MA line, it means a downtrend. Then the trader will start looking for sell opportunities only. For Axis Real Estate Investment Trust technical analysis, we use the daily time frame and three types of indicators, which is support and resistance, chart pattern analysis, and relative strength index, which is RSI. Firstly, support and resistance level are utilized to determine if the price of stock can maintain its present upward or downward trend. Currently, the support zone for this stock is RM 1 ringgit 84 cent until RM 1 ringgit 86 cent. And the resistance zone is RM 1 ringgit 99 cent until 1 ringgit 97 cent. It means that currently the chart is in a sideways situation. If the price RM 1 ringgit 18 cent is breached or breakdown, the price will decline until it reach the new support level. Alternatively, if the price RM 1 ringgit 97 cent penetrated or breakout, the price will climb to build a new resistance level before the retracement takes place again. Next, one of the indicator we use in technical analysis is the chart pattern. In technical analysis, price pattern often show where trends are going up or down. A pricing pattern is a well-known structure of price movement that is made up of a series of trend line and curve. It is called a reversal pattern when a price pattern shows the direction of the trend has changed. When the trend continues its old direction after a short break, it is called a continuation pattern. As we can see in the chart above, the price formed a pattern at the start of 2021. This pattern is called the falling wedge pattern. The falling wedge pattern is a well-known bullish chart pattern that many traders look for when they trade. Between two short support and resistance line, this pattern is formed in the market. It takes the support and resistance line to fall, which make the space between them smaller. This is how falling wedge is made. If you want to trade the falling wedge pattern, it's pretty easy to do. It's okay to buy when the price break above the top trend line of a falling wedge pattern like this one. People who trade or invest in stock can buy the stock when it has broken through the trend line on the chart above. Alternatively, they can wait for the candlestick to close above the trend line. This is because it is feared that the price will go back to where it was before and keep going down, which will make them lose money on their investment. Next, the last indicator we use in this technical analysis is the relative strength index, which is RSI, which help to determine the oversold and overbought condition. Relative strength index, which is RSI, is one of the technical analysis indicator that traders usually use to measure the magnitude of an asset's price volatility. If the investment is overbought or oversold, this indicator is used to see if there is enough potential to buy or sell. Traders and technical analysis use this indicator all the time because the RSI looks at change in asset price over 14 days. The RSI formula is average price increase divided by average loss, and that number is then put on a scale from 0 to 100 to show how much of a change there has been in price. In addition, the RSI graph is divided into three parts. Firstly, below 30%, second, between 30%, and third, and above 70%. To be oversold, the graph needs to be less than 30% down. If it's more than 70%, the graph is overbought or too valuable. Oversold is the best indication to purchase, while overbought is the best to sell. As this real estate investment trust, RSI graph is currently 56.15%. According to the chart, the ideal time to buy this stock is at RM 1 ringgit 18 cent price level. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, I will continue with the decision and recommendation of the company. It is based on the fundamental and technical analysis of Sime Darby Berhad and Axis Rate. So based on the fundamental and technical analysis that has been conducted before, there are some decision and recommendation that could be introduced to the investor. First thing first, for Sime Darby, we look at the fundamental analysis first. The current net profit margin is 2.21%. The net profit margin indicates assists investor in determining whether a company management is generating enough profit
from its sale and whether operating and overhead costs are being kept under control. The 2.21% to be added is not an ideal value of net profit margin, as it is considered as low margin, which is below 5%. Thus, it shows the Sime Darby is not healthy in terms of their financial condition. The investor advised not to invest in current situation, as this company said to use an ineffective cost structure and poor pricing strategies. Meanwhile, for earning per share, EPS, Sime Darby reported to have RM 20 cents. As the investor, we must examine the good margin of EPS ratio by looking for companies with steadily increasing earning per share. Advancement in EPS is an important indicator of management performance because it shows how much money the company makes for its shareholders, not only due to change in profit, but also after all the effect of new share issuance. Next, the current ratio of Sime Darby is 1.63, as 1.63 is between 1.5 and 3. We can consider it as acceptable and financially stable. This is good sign for investor to invest to Sime Darby without worrying the ability of the company to pay back the returns. Next, for exit rate, for fundamental analysis, firstly, we will look into their net profit margin of the time being. So the net profit margin for this company is 60.33%, which is a good level of margin. In this matter, the higher the margin, the better it is. The investor should use this opportunity to invest to this company, as it is a good position for them to drive substantial earning. There are possibilities that the company will not able to pay the return is very low, as the company can generate profit well. Meanwhile, for earning per share EPS, Axis Real Estate Investment Trust is RM 10%. At this point, the greater the value, the better it is. Better investment will pay more for a company share if they think the company has higher profit relative to its share price. As the investor, we must examine the good margin of EPS ratio by looking for company with steadily increasing earning per share. EPS growth is an important indicator of management performance because it shows how much money the company makes for its shareholder after accounting for changes in profit as well as the effect of new share issuance. For a conclusion, the fundamental and technical analysis is an important tool for investor for making a rational decision while approaching a stock market. Both are used by investors and traders to research and forecast future stock price. Both, like any investment strategy or philosophy, have supporters and detractors. Based on the analysis of the two companies above, Sime Darby, Berhad and Axis Real Estate Investment Trust, Sime Darby Berhad is more valuable to be chosen as a company for investing the stock. It is based on the fundamental and technical analysis for both companies. To be compared, Sime Darby likely said in a good financial health in terms of their financial ratio of net profit margin, earning per share EPS, and also its current ratio. This ratio shows a positive margin and can be considered as a good company to generate more profit compared to Axis rate. Thank you.